I want to play a clip of Tim Walz on the White Dudes for Harris Zoom. I hadn't seen it in real time. And this is, I mean, this is about as good as it gets in terms of rhetoric when it comes to Democratic politicians. Here is Tim Walz. Let's start more or less from the beginning, maybe go a minute into it. But he's talking, you know, he's talking about the importance of this election. It's really at the end, which I really love. But check this out.
Case, and for one thing, don't ever shy away from our progressive values. One person's socialism is another person's neighborly.
Wait, what's that? What happened there? I thought we were going to start at the.
Oh, sorry. 1 second.
Trying to get pregnant needed fertility treatments, things like IVF, things that they would ban. And so once again, I keep talking about this idea. You're right. These guys are the anti-freedoms. I grew up in a small town, 400 people, 24 kids in the class, 12 cousins. And I hear J.D. Vance trying to talk about what a small town is. There's one golden rule in a small town. Those of you who are from a small town, mind your own damn business. We don't need it. I don't know who's asking for this crazy stuff that they're pushing. Who's asking to ban birth control? Who's asking to raise the price of insulin? I'm a Legion Club member, and none of the dudes there are asking to cut veterans benefits like Project 2025 does. So look, that's not where
pause it for 1 second.
I
There's a couple of things I just wanted to say here. One, he grew up apparently in Nebraska. I don't know where in Nebraska he grew up, but I wonder how much that's going to help in terms of that one electoral vote in Nebraska that the Democrats really want and need. It won't hurt. Let's put it that way. No. There's, you know, to be able to send him in there. He also apparently will speak quite a bit about IVF treatment because he and his wife apparently needed that treatment for their child. I guess they tried for about 8 years and couldn't do it. I mean, he's going to speak to this stuff and continue.
2025 does. So look, that's not where folks are at. I represented a rural district. Donald Trump won it by 15 points in 2016 when I won. Those are folks that want a fair shot. We need to point out to this. The reason rural America hurts is because robber barons like these guys have come in there. These are the guys that take money out of our public schools for private schools to give vouchers to people who are already going to private school. They undermine the basic social safety net that makes this country great. So when I hear you on here, I hear Josh talking about hope. That is exactly right. That's what we need. And then coupled with that, because my wife reminds me of this, she said, hope is the most powerful word in the universe, but it's not a damn plan. We need a plan to win, and that's what you guys are doing. That's what smashing that button does. That's what's calling. And again, this is preaching to the choir, but the choir needs to sing. The choir needs to sing. This is our moment. This is not just transformational for one election. This is transformational for several generations. But here's the thing that I take a responsibility for. We're not in this alone. The rest of the world needs us to be here. These guys throwing our NATO allies under the bus, the idea that they don't care what happens in the rest of the world, not addressing climate change that's going to impact communities that are less fortunate than anyone else. Those are the things it has to do. We have communities that are going to pay the price because we don't address it. Here's the great news. How often in 100 days do you get to change the trajectory of the world? How often in 100 days do you get to do something that's going to impact generations to come? And how often in the world do you make that bastard wake up afterwards and know that a black woman kicked his ass and sent him on the road? And you know that's something that guy's going to have to live with for the rest of his life. So I got to tell all of you, please do what you can. Please talk. Look, I got Florida Man as a brother. We all got him in our families. But these are our neighbors and our relatives. And at heart, they're good people. They're not mean-spirited. They're not small. They're not petty like they hear on stage. They're angry. They're confused. They're frustrated. They feel like they got left behind sometimes. But we can get out there, reach out, make the case. And for one thing, don't ever shy away from our progressive values. One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness. Just do the damn work. So I got to tell you, when I see this, it lifts me up. I'm inspired. I see it. Again, anti-Tommy Tuberville, this is the first day of football. We're all end this. We're all undefeated. We got an opportunity on this. I want to be standing in that day in November when we're playing for the big one, and I'll take us. And again, keep hammering on these guys. This idea of calling them out for who they are, shrink them. Is he a danger to society? Yes. Is he a danger to women's health? Yes. Is he a danger to world peace? Yes. But don't give him more credit than he needs. He's just a strange, weird dude, as we've been saying. Pick that in the pace. Pick up the work. Do the work. Donate. Call. Talk to your neighbors. Let's win this thing. No regrets at the end of this. Thanks, folks.
I mean, he talks like a normal person. I mean, like a football coach. Yeah. Maybe not too harsh. But I love the idea that he's out there saying one person's socialism is another person's neighborliness. I like the idea that he can sell a set of policies not with a political identification, but rather with one of like, this is just being a good person.
Yeah. And I mean, I have your wet blanket impulses too, but since Emma's not here to be positive, I'll just be positive for a second. You know, there's that junior partner in a coalition sort of phrase that I think there's a lot of cynicism on national level for it, I think rightly. But in the Minnesota level, you had Senator Omar Fateh, who led that those rideshare bills, which actually like eventually were able to pass in not in the level that Walz denied, but also Robin Wansley. A lot of these things that were passed in Minnesota with that knife edge were done with socialists and DSA-backed Democrats in the coalition. So literally, they were a junior partner in the coalition, and the partner in the coalition that did the things that Walz is now touting as he becomes the VP pick. So yeah, I think it is. And I also like the 2 points he makes about don't catastrophize because it empowers them, and two, like, to hear a Democrat say we're not just going to raise our nose at people like the Florida man in our families, I think that's really important for Democrats in a lot of these communities that have been losing.
Well, the thing I like what he said there, he's saying, I mean, it is, you know, we're a couple weeks away from Michael's birthday, but it was very much in consistent with, you know, Michael's perspective on being, you know, brutal to systems. Yeah. But kinder to people. And he said, you know, reach out to these people. They're not bad people. They're confused. They're this and that. But he also said, but do not back off your progressive values.
Yep.
That's the point. There is a difference between reaching out to people and selling them on progressive values, treating them with respect, selling them progressive values, then rather than backing off your progressive values as some way of reaching out. Mm-hmm. That is the way to do it, is to treat people with respect. Most people, there's some people I feel like I don't respect, but for the most part. But essentially converting them, not converting yourself so that you can sit in proximity to them. That's not going to work.
Right.
Frankly, I don't think people ultimately respect that either.
No, it's a much better posture to take, though, I think.
No, I'm saying I don't think they respect it when you back off your own values and ideals.
Definitely not.
To an attempt to cozy up with them. I just think people find that, I don't know.
Ask UK Labor how cozying up to anti-immigrant stuff plays out.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.